Well, what's up, guys? Episode number 7 of the podcast, The Chaz Way, and I just want to thank you guys so much for being on today. Monday, 8 a.m., we release these podcasts every single week, and I just want you guys to know that you bring me such joy. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to share with you guys each week, and your feedback means more than you may possibly ever be able to imagine. I want to tell you that today I'm speaking vulnerably straight from the heart. I've titled episode number 7, Fear of Failing. And the reason I've titled it Fear of Failing is because I believe that so many of us so often live in a space where we fear failure. And what I want you to know is that we're created to do like humongous, incredible things. And God allows us to go to spaces and places that we can't even fathom or imagine because He's that good. And I just really believe that sometimes we play it safe because of the fear of failure. And so I just want to encourage you today to really start thinking as we dive into this podcast about the areas of life that you maybe haven't taken risks or chances because you've been so scared that you'll fail, you've played the safe route. Now, if you go back through other episodes, or if you've ever seen my lives anywhere or heard me talk, you know that I speak on this subject often. It's because it's close to my heart. And the reason it's close is because for me, there's been such a lack of belief in so many different seasons and so many different times that I have not operated at my best because of the fear of failure. And the truth is, as long as we fail forward each and every single day, I believe that's exactly what we can be doing. So quickly, let me just tell you again, my name is Chaz Foster. The Chaz Way is the podcast. And let me tell you what we stand for. The reason I created the Chaz Way a few years ago is because I want people to understand that they're worthy. You're worthy. You're worthy of great, huge, unimaginable things. And number 2 is because I want you to know that I'm here to be right by your side to help you get whatever result you're looking for. Whether that is earning extra money, losing weight, gaining weight, working from home, having more time freedom, having more energy, helping your friends, whatever it looks like for you, just know I'm literally here to lock arms with you. I am right by your side through this journey, however you choose to have, whatever journey you choose to have. I want you to know that I am signing up right now to be right by your side through that. And the third and final thing is that I believe that we're created to do massive things. I know that we're created with purpose on purpose. So what I want you to understand is what I stand for is helping you stretch to know that you can take your ordinary life and create extraordinary things, an extraordinary future, extraordinary possibilities, extraordinary friendships, extraordinary love, extraordinary growth, extraordinary opportunity. But it takes you, and today's podcast on fear is going to be perfect for that. So let's dive right in. Fear of failing. And what exactly does that look like, and what am I referring to? It could be so many different areas. I'm in the network marketing space, and I can just tell you that 95% of the people that I have conversations with about, making some extra income or helping others, people are so quick to tell me no because they can't. Not because they won't, but because they can't. And the can't actually represents their lack of self-belief. Or maybe it's your lack of self-belief. I want you to understand that if you'd have caught me in 2016, I was the guy that said, absolutely not, I will never do network marketing. I will never be a part of a multi-level marketing company. I don't believe I'm not a salesman. This isn't the right thing to do. I don't want to inconvenience people. I don't want to bother people. And it wasn't until 3 months into hanging out with a community of people that were just loving, caring, compassionate people, and seeing that it was possible, that I decided not to let fear stand in the way. And I'm so glad I did. It's changed my life forever. But I think about that because I truly, on a daily basis, have conversations with people that are hurting, people that are broken, people that are broke, people that are in fear, people that are lost. And I have an opportunity to offer people that can truly change your life if you choose to let it. But we are so quick to say no. Not tell me more, not how can we find a way, but instead they shoot it down. And the reason is because it's self-inflicted fear. And so this isn't a pitch to do network marketing. However, what it is a reminder that the reality is, again, you can do anything that you want. So I want to encourage you not to let fear stand in the way of that. Maybe you're afraid of heights. And And let's talk about that for a minute. I'm scared of heights, by the way, for the record. Let's say you're afraid of heights. And let's say that you have an opportunity, you're fully capable physically to go to a high dive, and the pool is plenty deep, and you are an excellent swimmer, and you love to swim, yet you're scared of heights, right? Your fear is heights. Your fear is not falling. Your fear is not drowning. Your fear is not the lack of ability to swim. Your fear is heights. So we have decided in advance that we can't climb that ladder to the top of the high dive, no matter how safe it is, because our fear is of heights. I want you to understand what I mean by that. We have already written the story that we cannot climb to the top of that ladder and dive into that pool. We love water. We're not afraid to drown. We're not afraid to climb. We're simply scared of heights. But because of our fear of heights, we don't allow ourselves the opportunity to dive and have a great time and swim and splash around and have a thrill and a joyride. And that's just one example, and there's so many different areas. And my goal always, as I talked about the Chaz way and what I feel like I represent and what my heart is for people, understanding you're worthy of great things, understanding that you can take your ordinary life and make it extraordinary. Part of that comes from stretching and looking at what truly, truly is possible. So I just want you to know, you guys, that you absolutely can do anything that you want. I want to know if you're willing to fail. Will you go along in a journey with me? Will you message me? Will you comment on this? Will you say, hey, Chaz, I am willing to try and see how I can stretch myself in ways and be willing to fail? And you can start with anything that you want. Anything you want. It's your journey. It's your marathon. It's your life. I'm simply here to encourage you to do great things with it. Some people say that failing is not an option. However, I believe that when you aren't willing to fail, you're not willing to take risks. And if you're not willing to take risks, you're playing it safe. Have you ever noticed that they call it a rookie move sometimes when you do something silly because you're brand new to something? Have you ever heard that term? What a rookie move. I was watching motocross last night and somebody hit this jump. These guys are professionals, right? They're paid athletes. And this guy, like his first year out in the pros, right? And he just does this kind of weird little deal on these jumps and ends up crashing. Very common to crash. It's motocross. And I hear the announcer say, wow, that was such a rookie move. He'll learn from that. And I thought, you only get to live in the rookie season one season. Does that make sense? Rookie firefighter, rookie police officer, rookie piano player. Sometimes we may refer it to as amateur or new. Rookie football, your rookie season of sports, right? But you're only a rookie one time. So you're also only a rookie when it comes to living on the edge. And listen, it's not about the high dive. It's not about skydiving. It's not about racing a car, guys. The reality is this is simply me encouraging you to know that it's okay to take risks and to do things and to work through your fear of failure and become the best version of yourself ever. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. What matters is that you're willing to do something crazy and wild and awesome. I'm not asking you to do something that's not safe. I'm asking you to stretch your possibilities to become the best version of yourself ever. To be great, you have to take chances. And the reward can be incredible. Playing it safe will only allow you to live an ordinary life. I want that to sink in. 95% of people play it safe. Are you willing to come with me and not play it safe? Are you willing to stretch? And if you are, or if you're afraid to do that, I want to remind you this, that as long as you fail forward, you've won. The last year of my life, a little over a year, almost a year and a half, about a year and a half, has been truly the wildest, scariest time of my entire life. You may have heard me talk about it. I've never talked in detail about it. I decided to make a massive business move last year in September. Because of that, people didn't understand. Of course it was scary, but I knew that I had to do things that were super uncomfortable to grow. And I was talking to my mom the other day, and it's crazy because where I have grown and the way that God set up the last year is nothing like I expected. When I made some shifts in my business last year to get uncomfortable, the the story that I was writing that day, that season, that time last, and I say last year, it would actually be 2019, right? So we're talking about like fall of 19. The things that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get uncomfortable because to get here, this is what it takes. The reality is, the story God was writing was completely different than the one I was writing. I remember my good friend Joe, he said to me, hey man, like, you asked to get uncomfortable. You don't get to decide how uncomfortable you're gonna be, because I was hurting. I was broken. And he's like, you asked to be uncomfortable. You've got to trust God and allow the uncomfort to be his way and work your way through it. I have a desire to be one of the greatest leaders. And I know that the only way to lead is to take risks. I know that I have to go for it and I have to fail forward. I get to fail forward. I get to go for it. I get to be uncomfortable and do crazy, wild, irrational things because I want to live an extraordinary life. And here's the mushy part, you guys. The mushy part is this. I want you to go with me. I want you to be by my side. I want you to want more for your life. I want you to provide more for your family. I want you to provide more for you. I want you to lock in with a community of like-minded people. I want you to begin healing from the pain that you have. I want you to begin healing from the story that you've written. It does not have to be the story moving forward. You can do anything you want. You can become anything that you want. You're the only one that can do it, though. So I'm asking you if you're willing to fail forward. I'm asking you if you're willing to take risks. I'm asking if you're willing to get uncomfortable. I'm asking if you're willing to do wild, big, extravagant, wild, crazy, radical things to take your life from ordinary to extraordinary. Let me tell you like a little snippet of my story. Prior to network marketing, I was lost. I was 360 pounds. I had no future in sight. I was making way less money than I should. I was underpaid and underappreciated. I wasn't happy with the position that I had at my job. I was grateful, but I wasn't happy. And there was no room for advancement. I was sitting on my recliner at 360 pounds talking about what a great parent I was. And when I say talking about it, I don't mean bragging about it, but I'm like, I'm this single dad and I love my son and I'm such a hands-on dad, but I was 360 pounds. The reality was I would sit in recliner and I would switch channels on the television and I would make excuses why I couldn't go outside and hang out with my little boy. And I would make excuses why I couldn't cook healthy meals. And I would say it was easier to go grab pizza, right? Because I was miserable. But because I found the network marketing space in the community, I found true community. I found what began opening my mind to family. I grew up as an only child with a single mom. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But the reality is, guys, I don't know what family is. I've never had it. So I was able to start building like a network, building people, building a team, finding that community. And if you fast forward, even though I've moved on to another company, I've really, truly gotten to understand the true roots of what family and community can look like. What I've learned recently, I'm just getting chills right now, by just being more observant, is that it's also a place where you can begin to heal. It's also a space where you can let your guard down and be okay just being you, because you're going to be loved regardless. You are loved regardless. And by the way, nobody loves you any less if you're not willing to take risks or you're not willing to fail forward. I just simply want to stretch you to do the greatest things possible and live the greatest life you ever possibly could imagine, or maybe that you can't even imagine. And to do that, it's going to take some risks. It's going to take falling. It's going to take failing. And it's going to take rising up. To be the best leader I can possibly be, I want to stretch you to become the best version of yourself. I'm willing to fail forward. I'm willing to get uncomfortable. It is a crazy, wild ride. It doesn't make sense. My story and my testimony doesn't make sense. Maybe yours doesn't either. But it's an example. It's an example of willingness. It's an example of testing what's possible for me. And I know you could have the same exact thing. So I just hope that you're willing to live your best life. I hope you're willing to allow yourself to stretch and do things, allowing you to go from ordinary to extraordinary, because you're worthy of that. You are worthy of the greatest version of yourself ever. I don't know where this message finds you today, and maybe you are really like nailing it. And I always say, if you're nailing it, like, props to you, high five. Now your job is to share with somebody else and encourage them to do the things that are possible to become the best versions of their selves. Guys, we are called to do things and to be there for other people. I believe that strongly. And so I don't know what your beliefs are, but I know that if you're listening to this today, it's because you do love people and you are willing to do the things necessary to help other people grow and become the best of themselves. So I'm going to ask you, first of all, to be willing to lock arms with me and become the best version of yourself. Join my community, join my group, join our network of people who love one another. Just lock arms with us. And I say us, I'm talking about Anna and I. We want to take you along for the ride, and we want to build more of a true, fun, faith-based family community. So I'm inviting you to be a part of that. And I also want to invite you to just go out and stretch. I want you to give me your hands up, yes, I'm willing to do things that are going to help me become a better version of myself, because I am worthy. I am worthy. Go look in the mirror and say, I am worthy. I am capable. I am worthy. I am valuable. I'm incredible. I'm wonderful. Quit playing it safe, my friends. Quit playing it safe. You don't have to play it safe. You can do anything that you want. It just takes doing it. It just takes willingness. So I hope that you're willing. I hope that you have an amazing week. I hope that you know how incredible you are, and thank you for giving me a space where I can share from my heart. It may not always make sense. It may not always resonate with you, but I'm always going to be authentic in what I want to share with you guys on the podcast. So with a total huge amount of love, thanks for listening to episode number 7. And I hope that your week is great. And listen, I want to hear from you. I want you to say, Chaz Foster, I am ready to do this. Chaz Foster, I'm ready to grow. Chaz Foster, I'm ready to do something unbelievably great for myself, for my future, for my family. Rewrite your story. The story you've written can be completely changed to something even better. No matter how great you are right now, it could be even better. So have a great week, you guys, and talk to you soon. Episode number 7. See ya.